The wild and wacky halls of Greendale Community College have hosted a ton of big stars. And these are the ones who've also gotten schwifty on Rick and Morty. Joel McHale played Jeff Winger, the de facto leader of the main community crew. A once successful lawyer, his prestigious degree from Columbia University is revealed to be a sham, forcing him out of his career. In a bid to return to his high-profile lifestyle, Winger enrolls at Greendale Community College to receive a legitimate degree, where he becomes the leader of a colorful band of misfits. After Community wrapped up in 2015, McHale went on to star in The X-Files and even played former Community co-star Chevy Chase in the 2018 comedy A Futile and Stupid Gesture. However, he eventually reunited with his Community boss, Dan Harmon, for the Rick and Morty Season 3 episode, Rick Mansing the Stone. In this episode, Rick transports his grandchildren, Morty and Summer, to a Mad Max-style universe filled with chaos and vehicular warfare. McHale voiced the role of Hemorrhage, the leader of a group that terrorizes the wastelands. Summer falls for Hemorrhage, but their love story doesn't last long. Rick eventually helps the tribe become more civilized, leading the macho Hemorrhage to adopt a simpler and more docile way of life. Notably, Summer isn't the only Rick and Morty character to enjoy a brief romance with a character voiced by a former Community star. In the Rick and Morty Season 5 episode, A Rick Convenient Mort, Alison Brie voiced a fictional, eco-conscious superhero named Planetina. While on an adventure with his grandfather, Morty encounters Planetina and immediately falls for her. Surprisingly, the shy superhero also takes a liking to the high schooler, and the two begin to date, much to the dismay of Morty's mother. After hatching a plan to save Planetina from being sold to a rich sheik, the two spend their days together saving the planet. Unfortunately, Morty learns that Planetina places more value in protecting the planet than she does in saving human lives, something that forces the young man to break up with her. Brie rose to prominence after appearing as the do-good, straight-A student Annie Edison in Community. The youngest member of the group, she often struggled to have her voice heard and was taken advantage of for her proficiency in school. Throughout Community, she shares a will-they-won't-they relationship with Jeff Winger, which is ironic considering the two actors also served as love interests for different characters in Rick and Morty. The animated series doesn't seem too shy about bringing back guest characters, and Planetina's story also wasn't quite wrapped up entirely yet. So there's always the possibility that Brie's character and Morty could reunite once again.
And now, an elemental punch that's too hot to handle! Ah!
Gillian Jacobs made quite the splash when she joined Community as Britta Perry, an activist struggling to find meaning in her life through Community College. Britta appeared as a series regular in Community throughout its 6-season run. After the star wrapped up her time as Britta on the comedy, she went on to appear in a number of Netflix series, including Judd Apatow's Love and the Fear Street trilogy. Jacobs has also spent the years since Community ended, lending her voice to animated characters. After voicing characters in Adventure Time, American Dad, and Long Live the Royals, Jacobs briefly played an unhinged superhero in Rick and Morty. Jacobs appeared as Supernova in the Season 3 episode Vindicators 3: The Return of World Ender. In the episode, a drunk Rick concocts a plan to terrorize a team of prolific superheroes by putting them through life-ending challenges and puzzles that take a page from the Saw franchise. After a number of trials and tribulations, Jacobs' Supernova manages to make it out alive. Despite surviving Rick's mayhem, it remains to be seen whether the character will ever return to the series. Perhaps the character could even team up with Alison Brie's Planetina at some point in the future? After appearing in a recurring role as Dean Pelton in the first 2 seasons of Community, Jim Rash was promoted to a series regular in Season 3. The fan-favorite character is best remembered for having a crush on Jeff, and for his many elaborate and sophisticated costumes. While starring as the Dean of Greendale Community College, Rash co-penned The Descendants, which nabbed him a Best Adapted Screenplay award at the Oscars. After Community called it a day, the star quickly made a guest appearance in Rick and Morty. The Oscar winner appeared in the Season 2 episode Big Trouble in Little Sanchez as Glaxglow Slim Slom, an intergalactic marriage counselor who tries to help Beth and Jerry reconcile their rocky relationship. Naturally, not even the greatest marriage experts can tackle their marriage, and chaos ensues. IGN praised the episode and the Beth and Jerry storyline, writing, "Between Jim Rash's guest appearance and the wacky, violent battle that ensued, the Beth-Jerry storyline was unusually entertaining. Seeing as Beth and Jerry's relationship has evolved since the 2nd season, it seems unlikely that Rash will return as the character anytime soon. The star more recently voiced a character in Solar Opposites, another animated series spearheaded by Rick and Morty co-creator Justin Roiland.
You may already be learning something important.
Throughout its 6-season run, Community boasted a variety of guest and regular appearances from high-profile and established actors. A decent chunk of them have also popped up in Rick and Morty throughout the years. Perhaps the most obvious is Keith David, who appeared in the final season of Community as Elroy Potoshnik, a failed inventor. The actor continues to occasionally appear as President Curtis in Rick and Morty. John Oliver, who most people probably know as the host of HBO's Last Week Tonight, appeared in Community as Ian Duncan, a psychology professor at Greendale. In 2013, Oliver also voiced an amoeba named Dr. Xenon Bloom in the Rick and Morty Season 1 episode, Anatomy Park. Nathan Fillion, who appeared as a Greendale custodian in Community, also shows up in Rick and Morty as a galactic secret agent who wants access to Rick's formula for interdimensional travel in the Season 3 episode, The Rick Shank Rickdemption. Seeing as Rick and Morty is still airing, it remains to be seen if other cast members from Community will appear in the animated sci-fi series. Perhaps Community series regulars Danny Pudi, Donald Glover, Yvette Nicole Brown, and Ken Jeong will get their shot at voice roles in the show too.